Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're talking about the Tuesday markets after hours. So, some crazy stuff took place. You're going to see the markets open up extremely low on Wednesday. Now, what exactly took place on Tuesday? Not a whole lot. There really wasn't a lot of political talk. There wasn't a lot of not a lot of talk in general. A couple companies released earnings, some met, some didn't. I believe Macy's, Dollar Tree's, a couple of those released earnings. Some met it, some didn't. Not too many. I think I posted a couple over on Facebook that I was kind of tracking. Anyways, so the markets, they kind of moved up very slow. Today, the S&P 500 up 0.26, the Dow Jones up 0.04, and the Nasdaq up 0.56%. So why am I talking about this on Tuesday after hours? Well, over on Facebook, I posted a couple articles of what took place today. So after hours, again, we're going to be open up way low on Wednesday due to a political issue that's taken place. I did sell half my positions today in UPRO because you should never hold any leveraged ETFs overnight. I sold half my position because I expected it to either rise or fall, but I want to have half my money out. That way I can buy in when it falls tomorrow, expecting that it kind of did. So that was pretty good, but I did post a couple articles there. One talking about how the tariff rattled stock market is reacting to Cohen's resignation of from the Trump White House. Now, who is he? He is the National Economic Council Director Gary Cole. He resigned from President Donald Trump's administration. So it kind of goes on and talks about his ideas on the whole tariffs and President Trump's, and kind of like to go back and forth. Now, he was against, and Cohen had lost an intense battle over trade with Peter Navarro, another key presidential advisor seen as prominent for the tariff plan. So one was against tariffs, one was for tariffs. So he publicly endorsed a plan to implement tariffs hours before the advisors announced his departure. So Tuesday claimed that Trump requested that Cohen publicly endorse a plan to implement tariff hours before the advisor announced his departure, further adding to credence and expectations that import duties, a 25% tariff on steel and 10% on aluminum, will be levied in coming days. So this is going to be hitting the stock market. It's going to get a little bit rocky, and I would feel much safer putting my money in after this whole thing takes place. Let me get rid of these comments. I don't think the comments are gonna help very much, but so that was one article I posted. If you guys want to take a look at it, here's another one here. The Dow futures were down 300 points in the after hours due to his resignation from the White House. So again, kind of talks about his sudden departure comes amid turmoil on the White House over Trump's plan to implement tariffs on steel and aluminum. He had opposed it, arguing that it could undercut all of Trump's economic achievements in 2017, and that he was viewed by Wall Street as being pretty level-headed. As a headwind to the president I misread that. Kind of adding my own words in there. Anyways, he decided to leave the stock market, and what happened in the after hours? Let me go ahead and refresh this. We were down. Dow Jones still down 344, Nasdaq down 69, and S&P 500 down 28 points. So 1.5 basically. It is going to be opening up in the negative on Wednesday. Now, this is good for you guys out there that have some money on hand, because you're going to see these markets kind of tumble. Now, what exactly kind of moved in the after hours? I always like to take a look at these CNN after hours if you just kind of Google it, and then Market Watch after hours. I like to take a look at financials if they're moving, such as Wells Fargo down, point and a quarter, Walmart down a point and a half, Intel, Microsoft down, Apple's even down, even Apple. Dang it, Apple. So here we have VU, S&P 500. It tracks the S&P 500. Did pretty, started off pretty high today. They kind of dipped into the negatives and then peaked off right at the end in the positive at 0.25%. Now, after hours, what took place? Let's take a look here. It went down by more than 1.67% before it stopped tracking it. So markets opening on Wednesday. If you guys have the S&P 500, just about any stock, you're going to see some negative performance. I'm down probably a good chunk in the after hours because my main two ones that I hold track Apple and the S&P 500. So here, Apple down 1.5 points. So no one is safe out there. No one is safe. So before I talk about my portfolio, actually, let me just Google that and then I'll bring up Market Pro. So my portfolio, I primarily hold two stocks. I talked about these two on my end of February portfolio, my end of the month, etc. So today I made some trades. You don't want to hold leverage funds overnight. I'm pretty heavily invested between Apple and S&P 500. It's a leverage fund, but I kind of been swing trading this because the market right now is very volatile. Any political news on the president, his campaign, his administration, people resigning, his new enactments on tariffs and such, that's going to affect the market. It's going to bring it down 1.5 to 3 points in a day. So I've been kind of swing trading in and out. I'm not fully getting out of the position. You can see here I have 117 shares at it's currently priced at 145. It's not priced at 145 anymore. It's probably down in the 130s now. But Apple and UPRO I hold probably a good chunk. You can see here. Yeah, somewhere in there, somewhere in that time frame. Anyways, kind of going into UPRO. So UPRO, I've been going in and out of this position. It started a few, 5-10 days ago. So I bought into this position at 137.40, 137.26. I bought 36 shares of each. 36 shares 2 times, so I'm up at 72 shares of the company, and I actually have a couple more shares on it right now. So I'm holding, a good chunk of the ETF here, the leverage ETF. I decided I wanted to sell out half my positions, or a little bit over half. So today, with what was kind of going on, and Trump talking about North Korea, Trump talking about tariffs, the administration talk that I heard over on Bloomberg today, I decided, you never want to hold a leveraged ETF overnight, so I sold off half of it. I decided, I was watching this kind of going up into the 145s, coming back down into the 143s. I did sell at 143.23, so I sold right in this area right in here. They did pick up a little bit in the afternoons. If you sell off at a bottoming point in the day, you're still up. It did go up, and I was like, oh no, what if I had just kept it in there, my full amount? That's probably not the smart move, because as you know, in the after hours now, it did go down by, it was at 145.40 when it closed. It is now trading around 138.90. Now that's a loss of a little over 4%. So that's a pretty big loss right there. So I wrote it up, let's see, 5 days ago. I bought it in this time frame right here at 137-ish, and kind of wrote it up into the 143 area, which is around a 5% gain. Right in here is where I sold it off. So I wrote it up about 5%, sold off half my position in the stock, and now after hours, where's it at right now? 137 again. I think tomorrow, with all this political talk, I think it's going to continue to go down back into the 134s, 137s. I'm going to be picking up another couple shares of it and add it to my portfolio, because this, it's going to continue to kind of go up and down. And I believe I found like a very nice, it could go down into the 133s. That would be pretty nice. Looks like it did bottom out here at 123. So I may not buy the complete. I won't buy completely into it. I always like to have more cash on hand. So here I have roughly $19,000 cash on hand, just to get into, if tomorrow it's at 137. If it falls more to 136, I'll buy a little bit more. 120s, I'll buy a little bit more, and then right around 123, that's sort of the support for this position. And if I had rode it up, that's a 17% gain from the bottom. I don't want you guys out there to try and do this. This is just, it's fun and experimental for me. I'm just kind of playing around in the meantime. So that's basically it for this video, talking about what took place in the after hours, a little bit about what I'm doing in the stock market, and you're going to see some negatives tomorrow just due to the resignation of the economic advisor. So that is basically it for this video. If you have any questions or want to say hello, please leave a comment below. If you did enjoy the video, remember to hit the thumbs up button below, subscribe for future financial videos. As a friendly disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, tax professional. The information provided is my opinion for entertainment and fun. This is not investment advice. This is just me as a financial investor trying to help others make their money work for them. I'm trying to make a little bit of money, and of course, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Have a great day.